All right, how's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to be talking about TradingView, and this is going to be a video tutorial on how to set up TradingView, my specific settings as well for TradingView, and then you can just follow along and get started essentially. So TradingView, in a nutshell, is basically a charting platform. This is a platform where you can go on, you can do all your technical analysis in, and then basically execute on a different platform. You can also execute on TradingView if you prefer to do so. However, I have a preference not to do so. It's just because you're connecting one brokerage account to a TradingView account. There's always going to be some lag or some delay that's going to happen between the other, but one to the other essentially. So the way TradingView works is that it has two sections. Essentially, it has the technical section where you can do your technical analysis, and the second section is that we can actually do a fundamental analysis on the market. So when it comes to signing up, it's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Essentially, you can find a bunch of different settings in there. There's a lot of tutorials available. There's a lot of different tools available in TradingView. So so many features as well. So I'll walk you through it. So we get started for free over here. There is a free version, right? There is a free version, no credit card needed. You can sign up for free. However, if you are taking this journey seriously, I recommend you get a paid plan. The reason for this is because of the replay feature. The replay feature is the most useful feature that they have essentially, whereby you can backtest your trades and backtest your strategy, and that's what the replay feature does. You can try any one of them free for 30 days, up to from Essential, Plus, and Premium. Expert and Ultimate you can try for 7 days. I personally recommend, if you're a beginner, go to the monthly plan if you want to get the essential plan, or go to the annual plan and go to annual and get the essential plan. That's the bare minimum, $13 a month. If you're not comfortable in making that much, or investing that much into TradingView, then you probably shouldn't be trading in the first place. So that's my recommendation. I already have an account, so I will go ahead and sign in to my account, and then I'll show you the internals and then my settings for setting up TradingView. Cool. So sign in over here, and then sign in with Google. That's what mine is. Just logging in right now. Two-factor authentication. So TradingView is very secure in the sense that you can have two-factor authentication. So I'm gonna get my two-factor right now, and I'm in. Perfect. The current plan, as you can see, I'm in is the premium plan. There's no need for me to even go to the expert or ultimate plans. These plans are primarily for coders, so guys that are building their own scripts and whatnot. I do have a few scripts that I'm running, a few codes that I'm building as well, and trading with, but premium is more than enough for me. So if I go to products over here, I'll go back one more section. So if I go to products, I'll hover around this. There's a bunch of different features that you can see over here. You can see calendars, you can see economic calendars, you can see screeners, super charts. Super charts is the one that you want to look into. So click on super charts. Essentially, right now, you'd probably get a chart that looks probably, let me show you something like that. It's a white screen, and you don't really want to do that. You can go to your settings button over here on the top left side. You can change your theme from a dark theme to a light theme. So this is a light theme. I don't want to do that actually, so I'll leave it as is. And then you can also change your chart settings. So if you want to go to your settings over here on your chart, you can change the color, the text, the lines. You can kind of just play around with this and the background color and everything, and to your own liking. You don't have to copy mine. You can do however you want. So I'll go to my main trading grid essentially, and this is kind of what I prefer when I'm looking at my trading view. So I want to break down right now what to do and how to set it up essentially, and what these different tools are essentially over here. So on the top section here, let me get rid of the logo real quickly. So in the top section here where it says NQ, top right, top left actually, so I don't know if you can see my mouse, but top left, it says NQ. You click on that. This is where you can navigate and type in all the different tickers that you want to see. If you want to trade stocks, you go to stocks, you can click on them. If you want to trade funds, go to futures, forex, and so forth. That's where you can find that on TradingView. These time frames over here, essentially, this is the different candlesticks that are being shown and what time frame you can adjust them to. So the 5 minute, 15 minute, hourly time frame, so on and so forth. We have different types of representation of these charts over here. You can play around with it. You have bar charts, hollow charts, volume candle charts, Heikin-Nashi charts. You can change it. Your chart will change. You can do a line chart if you wanted to. It'll change to a line chart. I prefer the candle chart, and I prefer to just go with green and red candlesticks essentially. Indicators, you can find a lot of different indicators in here essentially. I have some personal indicators that I've been building myself. You can find technical indicators. They can find them all in here. Whatever you want to look for can be found in there. Now, the platform has a toolbar on the entire left hand side of the system. So I'll show you that left hand side and walk you through some of the items in here. So as you can see on the left, we have basically a line tab, just a bunch of different tools. Think of this as like a toolkit in your chest of like how do you draw lines on a chart. This is what you use to draw lines. A trend line is just to draw a line from one place to the next place. A ray is so on and so forth. I recommend you just play around with these, right? The ones I have starred here are the ones I recommend you use on a day-to-day basis, or the ones I use on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to use these. This is what I use, right? So I'll go through all this list, and you can see whatever is starred, and you can also start on your side and have it pull up on your easy navigation bar right there, right? So it's just a quick navigation. So we have that one. We have just Fibonacci over there. We have nothing chosen there. Here we just have the long and short position. Here we got the brush, arrow, marker, arrow, rectangle, path, circle, text. Not really a fan of emojis. So that's kind of how you set up your drawing tools, and you have a quick navigation bar. Once you press favorite, it pops up and you can play around with it over here. You can drag and drop it wherever you need it. One key part to understand when you're doing your chart analysis, go to your settings tab right here and make sure it always is on auto fit. That is very key and very critical. Now that you understand how this platform works, you can scroll in, scroll out. You can see your chart doing different things, moving around. You have your time axis on the bottom, and you have your price axis on the right hand side. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to shift over and now show you what these on the right hand side look like essentially. So on the right hand side we have, let me just move my face a little bit. Okay, on the right hand side we have a watch list. So this watch list right here essentially is where you're going to get most of your data from, or you're going to be watching some of your data. So the way you create a watch list is basically you would go to create new list. Once you're in create new list, I'll just do one for as an example. Create new list, and I'll just call it tutorial. Okay, I'll save it there. Now when you want to add different stuff inside of this, you basically just go to add a section. You can add another section if you wanted to, so on and so forth. If you want to add a watch list, say you want to watch futures, right? You can go to plus, you can go to futures, you can go to whichever indicator that you want to watch. So in this case it's NQ1, I want to watch that. I just press plus, it goes under that. I can also rename this section and call it the NASDAQ section, essentially, if I wanted to. And I can just watch the NASDAQ underneath this. This one I can call S&P 500 and just watch S&P 500 underneath that. You can do this in your own time and add whatever symbols you want into this. I'll show you what my trading watch list looks like, and you can mimic this if you want to do so. So mine has the S&P 500 as a category, and then underneath a category I have ES1 ES1 exclamation mark, MES1 exclamation mark. That is the S&P 500 futures, the micro and the mini. And then I have SPX 500, SPY, underneath the NASDAQ I have NQ, MNQ, NAS 100, QQQ, and then the Dow I have YM, MYM, US 30, CL, and then just the rest of the commodities. So that's what I have here. I have another watch list as well. This is the stocks watch list. These are some of the stocks I'd be watching on a day-to-day basis. You can choose to copy mine, or you can also choose to make your own watch list of stocks. You don't have to do what I do, right? You can do what you want to do. Of course, I have the Mag 7 over here, and then I have a few others that I'm targeting and watching essentially. So there's a massive list of stocks. I can keep adding to this just by pressing the plus button and then going to stocks and then finding whichever stock I want to add and add it into that. So that is a quick setup on how to make sure that your TradingView is working and running very seamlessly. The next thing I want to cover is a replay feature. So if you see this function over here called replay, how this works is essentially that you can go back in time on the chart. So if you press replay and say you want to, for example, go on the 5-minute time frame, you want to see what happened on say this date here, Thursday 14th August at market open. So you can just go to replay, select the bar. Once you click it, you can just hover around wherever you want to cut the time over here. This is right before market opens, so if you want to start predicting and thinking like, hey, what can the market do when it does open, you can do some back testing and see like, hey, I think the market might go up or it might come down or so on and so forth. If you press play over here, it'll go ahead and mimic that. The speed you can change over here if you want to, the time frame and interval, all that stuff is up to you how you want to change that. So if I press play, now the predictions are happening, right? You can mentally think like, hey, I want this to go long, I want this to go short, and you can see if you're right or wrong. That's how you can predict and use the replay function just to see what happened in the past, right? This is not exactly what's happening right now. This is what happened on this day of Thursday. And if you were able to predict it correctly, you can also determine how much money you would make, how much money you would lose in the long term or over the period of time that you're backtesting on. Now, that's a quick tutorial on TradingView. We've gone over signing in, we've gone over account creation, we've gone over setting up your favorites tab in terms of like what types of tools to be using. We've also gone over what types of watch list you want to be creating, right? And how do you create that watch list over here? Once you have this, right, I always recommend people, since I'm a quarter point theory trader as well as an order flow trader, I personally recommend people to add all their quarter points to their chart once they have that going. So for the Nasdaq, essentially, as you can see on my chart, I have lines all over it, right? And it says QP, MQP, QP, MQP, so on and so forth. What these are basically major quarter points and then regular quarter points. A major quarter point is a whole number, in this case 24,000, 23,000, 22,000, so on and so forth. It just goes down. And between 24,000 and 23,000, actually I need to adjust this to be 23,000 exactly, because that is the quarter point. So between 23,000 and 24,000, if you break it up in quarters, it's every 250 points, there's a line that you put into that. I'll explain what quarter point theory is at a later stage. You don't need to know what it is, but I have them as reference markers, and these lines are great reference markers when you're trading the market. So I do it on NQ. I go back to my watch list over here, and I also do it on ES. You'll see all my lines on ES as well. I have it on a few other charts as well. Maybe the Dow, I might have it as well. The Dow has a few of them as well. So you can add these lines, and these are quarter point lines. How they work, that's for a different video. But for now, just add horizontal lines essentially. I'll go over an example of how to add one of the lines, and it's very self-explanatory. If you can't figure that out, then I'm sorry. You would just go to here, horizontal line, click the line, put it where you want to put it, double click it, change the coordinates to whatever you want to change it to. So say you want to put it at 23,860, you just go 23,860. And if you want to add some text to it, you can add some text and call it test. And if you want it to show, it'll show over here on the right hand side. You can change it to show in the center, right? You don't want it to be on the center, you just want to be on the right hand side. Font color, style, color, all that stuff is customizable for you. So once it's there, boom, it's done. Your line is placed where you need it to be placed. I place it mine at the quarter points essentially. So that's about it in a nutshell. That's a TradingView tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. If you didn't like that as well, let me know. I can also tweak and add stuff to this tutorial. Last thing actually that I forget is when you want to trade your funded accounts or you want to trade your personal trading accounts, you can go to your trading panel over here on the bottom side. The trading panel is basically where you can connect all your brokers to your TradingView, and you can directly trade from TradingView in your via your broker. I don't recommend doing so, but if you want to, you can do so. All right, thank you guys, and I will see you around.